Alrighty here. It looks like it is 9 a.m. and that is the starting clock for the morning Wake and Base channel. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Alex63501 channel. Today we've got a nice, smooth continuation of what we've been talking about here this week as far as Fuji Mall's first album, Yoshino Fuji Mall. Moving on a little bit later to Makoto Matsushita. I'm going to get these names eventually. They're getting closer. And now what we're going to talk about is the group that was formed after these two albums. So we did a little out of order. The first day on Tuesday, we did Fuji Mall's album. That was a 1982 album. Let me make sure that's right. Yes, 1982. And yesterday, we did Matsushita's first studio album under his own name, First Light, which is 1981. And so already here after 1981, let me make sure, Yoshino Fuji Mall pulled in Matsushita to his solo album. And then after that, he thought, okay, I'm not going to stop here. And he pulled in the bass player and the drummer from another, I would say it's kind of like a prog rock band or an AOR band, like we talked album-oriented rock, and then made his version of a supergroup called the ABs. And that's what we're going to be talking about here today. All right, morning, Master Vowels. Good to see you here. Welcome, welcome. And so, yeah, before we dive into the music and in the first album here, let's just do a quick recap of not only who's in the band, but what we're getting into here as far as timeline stuff is going. Okay, so again, ABs, just giving a quick recap here. They started right in 1982, right after Fuji Mall's album, his solo album, and they went for they had a 3-year run where I believe they released 4 albums. Let's just double check this real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, they released 4 albums. So 3 in that time span of 83 to 85, and then they released 1 of them later. So even though they disbanded for 3 years, they did release that 4th album, and then they reformed in a new iteration in 2003 and are still performing to present. And I was actually doing some research this morning, and let's see if I can get a better view for y'all so you can see. Oh, there we go. There's one. Hey, what's up, camera number 2? We've got their website, and they're still doing live shows, and we can see the lineup here. We've still got Fuji Mall. Let me see if I can pick him out. Pretty sure that right there, nope, yeah. That's either Fuji Mall or that's Matsushita. I'm not exactly sure. Let's see who's, let's look at if we go to home, it'll tell us who is who here today still. Maybe it will. How about profile? Let's try that. Here we go. Yeah, that's the 2 of them right there. Fuji Mall, Yoshino, and Makoto Matsushita. So let's take a look at them one more time, see if we can pick out who is whom. I think that right there, this guy is Fuji Mall. Let's look at his picture again. Oh, it's hard to see through that sweet mullet and awesome stash, but I'm pretty sure that that's this guy right here. And then that's Matsushita. Anyway, not a real big deal right now. Anyway, these guys, like I said, they snagged the drummer and the bass player from Spectrum, which was another band that had formed, and this has our boy Naoki Watanabe. And this is the guy who did a whole bunch of playing. Let's see if we can look through here if they have. Okay, here we go. Recording preparation work. So there's, okay, Matsumoto. There's Dimension. Okay, this doesn't have all the stuff that he's played on. We need to go to his Discogs to look at it. But he's got things like Henri. He's got Yori Kokubu on there. He's got, the ABs was a big thing for him. And so then we've got Makoto Matsushita. And he's coming through here. He has a huge album later. We kind of teased him for the Kinky Kids. We'll see if we end up doing a video on that later. Morning Chains, what's going on? Okay, so anyway, I just wanted to make that point of, also, Yoshihiko Ando, original member, vocalist, keyboardist, cannot find information on him. Sorry, buddy. I feel bad. And then Okamoto Go, who is the percussionist. And so he has tons and tons and tons and tons. Here's Spectrum, almost ABs. He's done anime stuff. These guys in particular, we'll look here when we get into the Discogs later and we start clicking through these individual people. I'm pretty sure, yeah, if we look here at Watanabe, later in his career, he is doing a fair amount of anime things, video games. Chains, I think it was you. Somebody was telling me about F-Zero X. And I think that this is the cat who played for F-Zero X, like way later in life. Oh, there's a Final Fantasy X. Maybe that was one of them. Got some Pokemon, Pikachu Factory, the good stuff. So anyway, this first album came out in 1982, but the song, actually let me say that right. They formed in 1982, but the album came out, let's look here, in 83. But what's interesting is that they're a little bit like a Cassiopeia group where they have standards of songs. So if we look here real quick, just at the names of these songs, we've got Deja Vu, DD Phone, Django, among the others. When we start looking at second albums and third albums, okay, let's see here. That's the same. Okay, that's different. So these are all different. I take it back. I had been listening when I was doing my research this morning, and there were all these different versions of Deja Vu. And so I was under the impression that they were pulling a Cassiopeia where they were doing all sorts of different versions of it. But I guess what happened, because their big hit is Deja Vu, and that's what they're known for in America and in Europe. Let me see if I can find the page on this real quick. Here it is. Yeah, the Deja Vu song. When this came out in 83, nobody really picked up on it. But in April of 1984 in Britain, in London, it was huge. And I think it hit 80 or something. It got close. It got pretty high on the charts. And so this is the song, which is the title track off this album. Or not the title track, but it's the first track off this album. And it's a not quite as long version. The full version of this is, I believe, 9 minutes, something like that. And the version we have here on the album is only 6 minutes. But without getting too much more into the talking of things, let's go ahead and check out this first album and see what we notice as far as instrumentation, maybe some tasty licks from Matsushito or from Watanabe, maybe get some good drum bass connection. Let's check it out. AB's debut album. Off to a good start. Okay, this is tasty. Thank you, Chains. You keep me honest, baby. I appreciate it. Tomoko Aoki, another character we will be looking at in the future. Okay, so we got a lot of cool stuff going on here. So we had a very prog rocky intro. It makes me think of somebody like Yes or something like that. Like big, not orchestral, but like a wide intro. There was a lot of sound there that was expanding forward. And then now that we've got this, main funk groove coming in, yeah, we got a little bit of our drum bass connection thing going down, but bigger that I want to point out is this bass guitar connection. They are exactly doubling each other with that. Bass is doing fingerstyle, keeping it nice and smooth. Guitar, palm muting, and just hitting the notes just enough so that we hear that twang of tong to tong tong to tong tong. If you're not listening real carefully, you might mistake that just for a super funky bass. But actually, it's the two of them playing together. Let's check it out. Yeah. So there we go. We got that connection there a little bit. Just gives it that extra spice, that extra flavor. And so then there's the second guitar hitting the chords. Oh yeah. Okay, very cool. So we got a really nice balance going on right now between Fujimal and between Matsushito. Because again, one of them chilling along with the bass player, just hitting those lines. Second one was hitting chords. And now we open up into the main, that funk riff. Listen to that guitar. Good morning, Ohajiman. Perfect time to join. On a funky morning track. Okay, I'm gonna take this time to point out all these cats are singing backup vocals. So in a lot of our other albums, we had guest artists, we had different vocalist people. This is them, man. Watanabe, bass player, drummer, guitars. They're all singing. Pretty good. Glad you like it, Ohajiman. It was new music for me too. I'm super digging on it. I'm having a good time with the ABs too. Okay, there we go. A little breakdown. Okay, now the keyboard and the bass are together. Okay. Now that is straight out of Yes. This sounds exactly like Yes right now. Oh no! In true Alex63501 fashion, I have no idea how to use technology. Well, we'll take this moment just to talk about this for a second. Very cool so far. Very, very interesting album. So, interesting song. We haven't listened to much of the album yet. But as we're going through this song, we're seeing, it's not, I feel like this is a progression from what we've seen from the other two. Because Matsushito's album was definitely more pop and just tons of energy and lots of things going on. Bass and percussion, big centerpiece. Funky guitar, though, lots of solos, energy in the vocals. And then with Fujimal's album, which let's remind ourselves here since I can pop this up, this is the album we were talking about on Monday. This is definitely funky. There is no question about the funkiness of this album. And I think he's already got Watanabe by this point. Let's look here. Yeah, Watanabe is already doing half the tracks, arranged by him, and then he played almost all the tracks. He played 6 out of 8 tracks in here. And this is a little bit more in the middle. I don't know how to describe it, because something like Midnight Plus One, super funky, but also a smooth song. But now that we're here at the ABs, it's like a whole different level of working together. So we still have those sounds, but like I was pointing out, guitar and bass are working together really, really tight. Then all of a sudden, bass and keyboard are working together really, really tight. We've got all these interesting vocals coming in, all these harmonies. Let's jump back in here to the middle of this song here, see if I can find... And again, these are the band members singing. They didn't pull in Junko Ohashi. They didn't pull in Yoriko Kubo or anybody else, or, Tatsuro. They're singing, and we knew that Fujimal and Matsushito could sing, but who knew that Watanabe had such a nice voice? Pretty good. Let's listen a little bit. Not exactly the voices, but funky, baby. Anyway, I was going to show you guys the intro of that one Yes song. Man, my brain is not working this morning. Anyway, for those of you who are not familiar with what prog rock is or progressive rock, let's just take a quick second here. I'm sure you guys all have seen this in at least some form or iteration. But progressive rock is kind of like the full, complete tilt version of AOR, of album-oriented rock, where you're talking about moving through with an album. So somebody that we're going to look at here probably next week is Takanaka. And he's a guy who's gone all over the place, super interesting character, but very technically oriented from a arranging and composition point of view. So his album, I think it's called The Rainbow Goblins, or the Tale of the Seven Goblins. That is a concept prog rock album. Like, there's a storyline about these goblins that is going through, and you're supposed to listen to the whole album front to back, and that's what you do. So we had that going on in American rock and roll music, and some early examples other than Yes would be someone like Emerson, Lake and Palmer. Those guys, ELP, they have, oh man, that's a great song. Oh, Roundabout, that's the song I'm thinking about by Yes. But if we look here and we try to see some good examples of this. Oh, one of the things that that the Japanese, when they're defining their term of adult-oriented rock, or because I'm not sure where that term came from. Help me out if you guys know. I'm assuming that that's something, AOR is something related to city pop, but let me know. But when they're defining it, they actually talk about the Beatles and the, I don't know if they talk about the Beach Boys, but let's look up here because they put it under here as AOR. And so if we look, we see, all right, album-oriented rock. So now this is the American site version. Okay, so this has a lot more information than I thought it did. Talking about the different bands. Anyway, the point I'm trying to make here is that with this album, I'm going to guess as we move through, I'm going to guess that's what this is. I'm going to say this is an early prog rock album that moves through with a real steady flow. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to try to play, even though we can't listen to the whole album, because I think the whole thing's in 45 minutes, yeah, 42. We're going to make sure we go from the end of one track into the other, just to see if they stop or if they kind of move it together. So let's listen to the end of Deja Vu. This is their big hit track that was a hit a year after it came out. But yeah, so end of Deja Vu, going into the second track called DD Phone. Let's see what happens. That is very loud and spacey. Let's turn it down for y'all. Oh yeah. King Crimson. I like that. We're gonna go back. I like that. And much like when Goku ripped off his weighted training clothes when he was getting ready to fight, Watanabe has been unleashed. Oh yeah. Master of Outlord, he knew what was happening. Oh damn, y'all. We gotta go back. That was some deep funk bass. I want to hear that again. Too good. Here we go. I was worried because I didn't eat breakfast, but now I'm full. Harmony. Yes. need that again. Twice in a song, I gotta do a replay. That dee-dee-dee-dee-dee. Oh, baby. That's cool as hell. That's awesome. And now it's shred solo? Ah. Whale. Oh, this is... I'm gonna guess Matsushita. I'm gonna guess. Let's see if I can figure it out. Have to turn it down. We're gonna have to talk about it, but I'm gonna keep it rolling in the background because that is tasty, y'all. Tasty. Okay, let's see if I can get the volume right so I'm not too quiet. Okay. Man. Whoa. This is some funk. This is crazy. So many cool things there. That dee-dee-dee-dee-dee, that vocal thing. These guys are good singers, man. Like, they're on point. I know I teased both Fujima and really Matsushita for taking Tatsuro's whole doo-wop. Hold on. I just had a feeling. Let's get it. Hold on. I'm sorry. Let's get a taste. I'm sorry, y'all. I just can't stop myself. So with that Tatsuro singing style, I kind of teased him for taking that, but this now is an evolution of that. That's their own thing. Because now it's like, that's some tight harmonies, but I'm not immediately thinking of Tatsuro like doo-wop harmonies with the slow. Like, they took it for their own and they did their own thing. Good on them, man. Fujima made a good call. So it's this cat right here. This is the dude with the plan. He pulled them all together. And let's look again here because we've got the same, I think we've got the same producer. Engineered by Tatsuro Umetsu. Let's see here. Engineer Tatsuro Umetsu. Mixed again. So I want to give that cat some nice props for mixing another fantastic album. I'm going to turn it back up. Listen just how well this is all blended. I'm really trying to listen to how this is put together. It's so smooth. Okay, I think I keyed in on one thing. So, as somebody who's spent/wasted a lot of time trying to figure out recording and how to get good sounds, especially when you're working with live acoustic instruments, is you don't want that dry sound. You want it to sound like a live band. You don't want it to sound like I recorded drums, then I recorded bass, then I recorded guitar, then I did a vocal like it. And it's hard to get that cohesion. And one of the fine lines you have to walk is what's called reverb or reverberation. And it can be done in a lot of different places, but certain instruments respond better than others. For instance, you do not want reverb on your bass, generally speaking. You want that baby tight, very clean, as I talked about before. Let's see if my camera is still working or if it has died. Hey, it's not dead yet. I'm gonna move this just very carefully here. I have this pedal right here that is called a compressor pedal. And what that does, I talked about that the other day for a bass player, it takes our sounds and it takes the soft ones and raises them and the super loud ones and lowers them and keeps us in this nice range here where we can make all the different pop and slap and crazy noises that we like to do, but it's not going super loud, super quiet, super, it keeps it all in the middle. But we need that tightness. Otherwise, we sound like mud. Drums, however, if you don't have that reverberation, it doesn't sound like drums, because that's what a drum is. When you're hitting the top of something or you're hitting a membrane, being a fancy word, you're causing a resonance to happen, and that's what you're hearing. if you recorded that in a dry room, you know, which will give you a good sound, but no reverb, you have to somehow fill that out to make the sound filled when you're not playing. We talked a little bit about space, I think it was last week, having, you know, not always needing to have something being played. This music is not an example of that. There's something always going on here. But let's listen to how the drums have this reverb, because it fills in that extra space of sound while everybody else can do what they're doing fairly tight. The guitar also has some reverb, but the keys are just holding chords. There's vocals singing, there's real tight bass, and then we got some reverb on the guitar and on the drums. So let's listen just a little bit to what that sounds like. I'm not sure if you can hear that. You might have to have headphones on and just be like, listening so loud, and then my voice is way too loud. But give it a listen sometime. It's very, very interesting how he's mixing this, and it's the same kind of. I'm the same impressed that I have been these last 2 days of like, man, these are good albums. Like, these sound good. Now let's take 1 second, because now I'm interested. Let's look at Matsushita for 1 second. I want to look at First Light, and I want to see who mixed this album. Because if it's the same person, I would not be, it's not the same person. Darn it. Maybe they were friends. Okay, well, let's keep going now, because again, I'm getting bogged down. We're almost 30 minutes into the stream, 2 songs in. But let's keep it going with the whole prog rock idea, because even though that wasn't a smooth transition from 1 and 2, it was a good transition. I really liked it, and it kept me going with the album. So let's see if we have a similar thing here at the end of track 2, which is DD Phone, going into track 3, Django. By the way, the first song written by the bass player Watanabe. Second song we just heard, written by Matsushita. And this next one, also Matsushita. Let's listen. Oh yeah, Rainbow Goblins, Dave. You know it, baby. Thank you, Metro. Macaco. Good tip. Good tip to know. So we've got there we go. Now we got a little bit lower. Okay, sorry to cut it off right as the vocals come in there, but we got an interesting kind of like a reggae feel now. This to me now is kind of breaking my prog rock feel. I like the song, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong, that's not what I'm saying. But as far as having that smooth flow that or not even smooth, but that undeniable flow from 1 to 2, this was a little bit different. Just like, okay, next track. Cool, but not so prog rocky in my mind. Let me know if you disagree. I'm always interested. I'm always down to fight on the internet. Ooh. Yeah. Smooth though, man. Very smooth. Yeah. They're good singers too. Like, shoot. Yeah, they sound good. Okay, so reading through here just a little bit more about some of the info on them and when they were recording this album and stuff. I was also reading this. Whoever wrote this AOR needs citations. I was reading through it. doubt, question. But going through here with the ABs, yeah, it looks like when they recorded this, they recorded it in 2 locations. They recorded it both in Japan first, and then in London. And that is when the Deja Vu single became really popular, is when they had, let's see here, 1983. Yeah, they went to go do a single version. But they had come out with Girl before this, which is, let's see where I found that. I think that was right here. Yeah, here we go. Yeah. The single Girl was in 1982 in December. That's when they announced it. And that's what they were going to use as their single. Which, we'll hear Girl. Let's see, what track is that? Track 7. We'll make sure to get to that. I'll start moving a little quicker through the tracks here. But that was what they chose. And then Deja Vu, which is track 1, which we heard. Cool, you know, very cool song. I can see why it's popular. Why on earth they did not pick track 2, Dee Phone? Beyond me. That song slaps. That song is awesome. Super cool. My favorite so far. Okay, so again, that was kind of how they got their spot. And then this is very thin, you know, this Japanese Wikipedia, because usually they're really good about what's going on, but this is another one for the insert booklets. If you guys ever find these albums or something, huge, mega, we're gonna take a pause for a second here even, mega shout out to citypop Dave. Go check out his bass tabs. He does a channel very similar to mine. Super awesome guy. He sent me some really cool insert pictures from some of his albums yesterday after I had mentioned that, and those are super cool, and I'm gonna see what I can do as far as getting some info off of those and looking at them. But yeah, if you guys have albums like this, you'd be pull them out, like CDs too. You would be surprised what you can, the information you can find on the inside. And as nerdy as it is, like if you go to like a thrift store or whatever, you know, record store, I think that's half the fun of getting the music, because part of me is like, okay, I want to be an audiophile. I love analog sound. It sounds so much better. It's like, I got a ton of records and, you know, it does sound better. That's not as big a deal to me as I love the artwork of the albums. They're super cool. I love getting all that extra information that is, even in the age of the internet, kind of hard to find. You can find it, I'm sure, but you have to dig really hard. And then finally, on top of those, you know, the artwork and the extra information, those insert booklets are just cool. You know, you get the lyrics, you get extra photos of the band, and it's just a fun thing. All right, let's keep going here. So Django. A little bit more of a, maybe kind of a reggae vibe. Let's listen to that opening beat one more time. Yeah, not reggae. Kind of a little bit, but it's very space rocky. All right, let's go to the end of Django here, and let's let it play into Fill the Sail. So we are still on track 1. Is this the last track of track 1? This is the last track. So this is A4. So end of side 1. Let's listen to the very end of our track Django, and then let's go into Fill the Sail. So this was our second Matsushita song. Now we're going to go into our first song where the music is written by Fujima. Let's see what it sounds like. Okay, we got a full fade out here. Wow. Oh yeah, his bass. I totally agree, Chains. What's up, Pantsu? Good to see you. Ooh, Carl Cox. What's cracking, brother? I like that dog. What? It's like, why is this so quiet? Who let Cassiopeia in here? That is Cassiopeia. I know you guys agree with me that it sounds like Cassiopeia, but I want to play Cassiopeia because it sounds exactly like it. reminds me of a little Cassiopeia break. Yeah, let's get that theme where that has the dueling, or it's a single guitar, but. Oh yeah, these guys are good, man. But this is taking a page out of Cassiopeia's book. I'm interested to see how they progress in the future, because we've already shown that the last time they did something like this, the first time they used it was like, that's Tatsuro. But then the second time, it's like, good job pushing it forward. Maybe next album they push Cassiopeia. Oh yeah, those raspy vocals. I dig it. Okay. So again, talking about different elements of different things, and not only do we have a little bit of here, we had the absolute Cassiopeia intro. Now we're kind of into a Tatsu feel, you know? I hate to boil everything down into Tatsuro, but you guys know what I mean, because like it or not, that was the cat that established this sound. You know, really, like that, right on time. That album, 1980, massive for the sound. So many things ahead of what was gonna happen, not just 5 years, but 10 years, 20 years down the line, you know, maybe not in terms of style, but in terms of arrangement, in terms of recording, in choices of instrumentation. Shows, still has a career 40 years later. Ridiculous. Awesome. Ooh, we're getting to a funk part now. Oh, we're getting a little funk breakdown. A little Sly and the Family Stone. Ooh. I don't know. Track 2 is so good, but just for what happened right there, I want to give this song Song of the Year. Because when you do those off beats, because you're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, ba 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 ba. They usually do that, but these guys were just like, do the whole octave. But that's too many. Do the whole octave. I don't know if that's good. Shut up. Do the whole octave. That was way more than that was 16. Bum 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 bum. That was like a tenth. I don't know, music nerd. Yeah. Yeah. There's our Cassiopeia. I wish I could think of what Cassiopeia song this sounds exactly like. It's gonna bug me. I'm gonna find it right after the stream too. It's gonna bug me. Okay, again, I can just, man, I'm just getting jamming here. This is dope. Dope, dope, dope. Okay, so I'm very pleased. It's always hard with these morning streams because when I pick these albums that I've never listened to, whenever you guys tell me that it's good, it works out if you give me suggestions, but sometimes when I pick stuff on my own, I'm always scared. I knew that this was going to be a good one today because we had that combination from the first two albums. But I did not know that this was going to be so cool as far as listening to the connections from these first two albums to here, because just like you guys are talking about here, Chains and Pantsuit talking about the sound of Watanabe's bass, and you really do hear the same thing. You can hear his sound. It's kind of like, this is not a great example because he doesn't play with a ton of other people, but think of Flea from the Red Hot Chili Peppers. The way that he's got a custom bass that is just designed for slapping. And he does tons of other fingerstyle and all sorts of other things on it, but he keeps that same setup for slap all the time, for the most part. And it gives him a real distinct sound. Lots of, more mids than you would think, and a very, aggressive treble attack. But you can always tell it's his bass line. You hear it's like, oh yeah, that's Flea. And even if you're like turning on a video online of somebody playing bass, or like, you're doing, oh, well, who can slap better? Danny Trio or, all these different people. Then you're like, oh, that sounds like Flea, because it just has that style. Watanabe, even though he's going all over the place with Smooth the Funk, you can tell it's him. And interesting enough, the chillest song so far as bass goes, was written by him. Deja Vu, Watanabe. That it's got cool licks in there, but it's pretty subdued, especially compared to the rest of the stuff we got here. Okay, now let's go ahead and keep going. Let's go to the end of this song, Fill the Sail. Flip the record over, go to side B, see if we can crank through these last 4 tracks. Because again, I want to hear Girl, because that's what they chose to be their single, instead of Deja Vu, which was huge in Europe. So, let's hear. Okay, Master of Al's already hit me up. Says that I'm definitely going to like Asian Moon. Let's see what's up. Okay. Good start to side 2. While we're checking this out, I'm going to pull up our City Pop chart. I'm going to see where these guys all land on there. The clouds all roll, and darkness falls, it covers all, the sun falls on, the clouds all glow, and darkness falls through. It covers all. Whoa, what's happening? The stars appear, the moon is clear, and light is here. Oh. Hell yeah. Sidewalks getting rolled, make it look so pretty, yeah. Dreams of autumn soul. Whoa. Streets get full and night gets hot. Damn, this is a banger. Whoa, Al, you knew, but you didn't thoroughly explain. Oh. Damn, okay. We got to stop and we got to talk about several things on this for a second. Okay, so real quick, going back to this display capture here, looking through at this, the great City Pop chart. And again, City Pop over huge umbrella term for all these other things. So here we go. We got first slide, Matsushita chilling out right there as I'm looking through. And again, this specifically is designed just to represent at most 2, but generally people stuck to 1 album from every band. Otherwise, it would just be Tatsuro Cassiope. All these kinds of things. So we got Takanaka, Katamatsu. I was thinking, I was like, there it is. Okay, Yoshino Fujimall. And there it is, ABs. Okay, so they did put this on here as one of the... Man, I'm telling you, if you are not on the City Pop Discord, get on the City Pop Discord. You just got to dig through their archives of all the stuff they've made. They've made these really cool charts. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Going back to the song, let's listen a little bit to when this just kicks into hardcore mode here. We have the same thing we had earlier where we have that guitar and the bass, except now it's the opposite. Instead of the guitar chugging along a little bit underneath, trying to support the bass is shredding the main line with the guitar. Sounds a little bit like the Trigun theme song. I'll see if I can find that here for a second so you can hear what I'm talking about. But check this out again. Guitar and bass playing shred together. Also, this is the perfect example of never judge a song by the first 30 seconds to a minute. You never know what you're gonna get. Yeah, now let's listen to a little bit of the... Similar, not the same. I actually like this version better.
Night falls on the city, yeah. Sidewalks getting rolled, make it look so pretty, yeah.
Oh, gotta keep rolling. I hate that we have to leave the song. This is a long one too. And of course, there's a sweet solo. Yeah, that was cool, man. That is cool as hell. We're gonna listen to that again. They took, damn, that was cool. Okay, they're playing, drummer starts doing these crazy, like, offbeat 16th notes. So if we're going bum, 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 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. He's nailing the twos and fours. 2, 4, 2, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And he's just ta 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 ta, which sounds like, man, I hope you can hold on to the beat. But then they turn that into the beat, and it becomes the beat. Listen to this, listen to this. That's a cool transition. That's a cool transition. That was cool. They did that with the bass. So it starts with the drummer going ta 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 ta, and then after when the vocals come in for that verse, bass, bump 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 bump, and they just shift that rhythm. Oh, that was cool. That was cool. ABs are cool. All right, how does this song end and go into the next one? Man, I'm gonna run out of time. Oh, I'm excited. Oh yeah, Panda Man, what's up? Yes, that metric modulation was dope. Okay, so we got the end of this. We got to keep moving. Let's see what it moves into here. In the City Night. Only song, okay, or not only song, but Atsuo Akamoto. See who this is. Written by the drummer. Duh, it's the drummer. Oh my. I'm dumb. Sorry, y'all. This is a song written by the drummer. I said I was full like in 30 minutes ago. Now I'm stuffed. And they got that break in there. This is killing me. We only got 9 minutes left. Man, this is so funky. Okay, so when I was first talking about this album, my hypothesis was that this, listening only to Deja Vu, I was like, okay, this is gonna be a prog rock album where we've got full theme going straight through. No, this is just a good-ass album. I don't know how else to explain it. It's just well put together. It's interesting. It's coherent. You know, one of the things that I was talking, I live with other musicians, and I was having a conversation with my roommate about having the difference between a live-produced album, or an album that's produced with a band, and something that's produced in a studio. And while this is all studio-produced, I feel like you could do this live, and it would be very successful because they've mixed it so well, and it's like, oh, these are just regular old instruments. It's not way overlayered other vocals, it's them singing, you know? It's not tons of extra percussion, it's them playing, you know? And they're, I mean, there's not been a ton of synth in here either. Intros and outros and little things, but we got a keyboard player for that. This is, ABs, man. Really good, really successful evolution of two other really fine musicians. And not just musicians too, again, it's the engineers, which are technically musicians too. I would definitely put them into that lump sum. So again, for those of you who weren't here earlier, we were talking about, here we go, Toshi Oguri. This guy. He engineered a ton of these guys' albums. So he did Matsushita stuff, he did the AB stuff, he did that Deja Vu single, got a bunch of other things in here. Well, I guess he only did that first part. Man, for the 3 that I've listened to, good job, bro. Okay, we gotta keep going. We got 7 minutes left to hit 2 more songs, one of which I have been waiting for, Girl, because this is the song that they chose to be the track, their single. They wrote this in 1982, December. This was like the song that they were gonna try to go out and be like, hey, check out our band. Look at what we did. And yeah, let's see if it's better than Deja Vu, because I don't know. Let's just see. Does it just start like that? Hold on. I'm very confused, everybody. The timings were just wrong. Sorry. Here we go. Okay, open strong with Watanabe. That's pretty cool, man. Okay, yeah. That's slick, man. That is a funky track. It looks like a long one too. Let's dig in a little further. Okay. I don't know if y'all can hear this. I'll turn it up. But we got that bass guitar connection again, moving together. Now it's not doing it as much. Yeah, but the bass is the melody, or the bass is the melodic support there. What else we got here? I find this very interesting that they chose this to be the flagship song for their group. Cause please feel free to disagree with me. I don't know if I would consider this the strongest track on the album. Girl is cool. Again, there's nothing wrong with it. And like I said at the beginning of the track, it was like, nice, man. Like, that's a sick solo. But it sounds, if that's what you chose, out of all the redonkulousness that's on the CD, that sounds to me like you were trying to lure people in a little bit with like, hey man, we got smooth beat rock. Listen to this. Yeah. We're smooth. Yeah, no, our bass player knows how to hang back. Oh yeah, there we go. Some off beats. Oh yeah. Yeah, a little bit of shredding, a little bit of playing. It's cool, but it's no Dee phone. It's no Deja Vu. Heck, man, it's not even In the City Night. I don't know. They made a lot of good decisions with this album. That's going to be the only one that I disagree with so far. Let's see what they got. Okay, yeah. Okay. I'm getting a little bit of affirmation. Thank you, guys. I'm glad to know that I'm not totally crazy. Okay, let's do the last one here. Just You. Then we'll do a little bit of wrap up here. And then we'll be done for the day. But this has been a good one. This has been a good week so far. We're 3 for 3. Okay. Slow jam. Oh! Is this Deja Vu again? This sounds very similar to Deja Vu. Oh boy, Snoot and Dave, they just want that Rainbow Goblins. They know it's coming. It is.
Oh, the smile lights up your face again.
Okay, this is cool. I like that. Yeah, we got like a slow, like reverse phase guitar. I want to hear the beginning of Deja Vu again, because that sounds familiar. Nope, I'm dumb. I guess I must have heard this morning, and I just didn't realize that I was listening to the AVs. It must have just been playing in the background. I was like, oh. Yeah. This is a cool track. I think this... Yeah, it pretty much stays here. And it's got the fretless bass. Yeah. That's what a fretless bass sounds like. Actually, that might not even be a fretless bass. That might be a double bass that they just have mic'd up. I'm gonna see if I can look it up and see if they did. That'll be the last thing we look up for today. See if he played a upright bass or not.
You opened up my life again to the end of time, to the stars of
It's not going to tell me. Get those liner notes, people. Pull them out. Okay. Well, this is pretty cool. All right. Thunder Live, have a nice dream. Yeah, Cassiopeia track. Okay. Cool. Well, right on 10 a.m. on the dot. I'm getting better about the timing on these things. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for hanging out. This was a fun one today. I'm going to have to decide, man, what are we going to do tomorrow? I'm going to have to think. If you guys have any suggestions for a really good thread to keep pushing forward with this, if you have an AB's album that's maybe later, like one of the later ones, or if there's another one that you think is really good, or anything connected to this, hit me up, because we're going to have a stream that goes through with Takanaka. That is definitely going to be its own thing in the future. We're definitely going to have a stream with Mayamane. Got some interesting things about her. Still, I don't think I've ever done one on Maria Takayuchi. You know, I've only done 1 or 2 on Tatsuro, and those were my 2 streams that got absolutely destroyed with audio and video that I need to redo. But anyway, I had a great time. If you guys enjoyed it, like and subscribe. Always means a lot to me. Lets me know I'm doing the right kind of stuff. Love your comments. You guys have given me some really good stuff. Let me say the name right here. Panda Man. Panda Man brought up a very good point with my tabs, how I had forgotten to put all of them in key signatures. They were just written with a bunch of stupid sharps and flats. So thank you, Panda, for letting me know that, because now I've gone back through and I've fixed almost all of them. And I found a new tip for how to sync up your tabs with your YouTube videos. Looking at you, Dave. So I'll be talking about that here. I might make a little video just to show you, because it's easier than explaining it on the stream. But yes, we got more things in the work, more tab videos, more covers. Keep those suggestions coming. I love them. You guys are awesome. Anyway, hope you guys have a fantastic Thursday, and I will catch you tomorrow morning for a little bit more Wake and Base with some kind of connection here to our crew. And the computer ding lets me know we're done. See you guys.